the same thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2021 Scholarship Award presentation. I am Jamie Barnhart, the Executive Director of the Washington Metropolitan Chapter of the Community Associations Institute. And today is a very exciting day as our Public Outreach Committee and our Scholarship Subcommittee works to present scholarships to 3 very deserving high school seniors in the DC metro area. First, I want to congratulate our winners, Kevin, Anna, and Matthew. Thank you for your very well-written and inspiring essays. I know that it takes a lot of work to put something together and submit, and brave when you're allowing others to read your own work. So thank you, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing your writing in print in our magazine. In the August edition, and you will receive a copy of that. So you can forever say you're a published author now. That's very exciting. So congratulations. And then of course, the next big question is, where's the check? Well, it's cut, it's on Liz's desk, and will be in the mail tomorrow to you. So congratulations. And we're looking forward to hearing about all the wonderful things you do in your next career at college. So with that, I wanted to take just a few seconds to thank some very special people. First, I'd like to thank the chapter's membership manager, Liz Schell, for all her work with the Public Outreach Committee and the scholarship efforts all year through. And of course, our leaders of our scholarship, our Public Outreach Committee that works with the scholarship. We have Lauren Ritter with Chadwick Washington, Moriarty, Elmer, and Bunn. And we have Candace Lewis from Cardinal Management Group. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Candace, who is our scholarship subcommittee lead, and she's going to kick off our presentation.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. Lauren and I would like to introduce the rest of our team on scholarship. It just isn't us. We actually have a big group of people. Beginning with Lauren, you want to get started with that?
Sure. Not everyone is with us today, but I wanted to thank Katharina Nguyen, Doug Carroll, Sarah Ross, and Kim Miles for being part of our subcommittee.
And I also would like to thank Michael Bellevue, Andrew Newman, and Krishana Lorich for being on our subcommittee as well. And next we would like to, I'll turn it over to you, Lauren, to introduce the winners.
Thank you. So we don't have all 3 winners with us, but it is my pleasure to introduce our scholarship working group and our sponsors to Kevin Farrell. He is our first place winner. Kevin graduated from Yorktown High School. He lives in Arlington, and last time we checked, Kevin anticipates attending Dartmouth College in the fall. And our second place winner is Anna Westbrook. Anna also graduated from Yorktown High, so they must be doing something right over there. Anna also lives in Arlington, and she intends to either attend Ithaca College or Allegheny in the fall, and hopefully we'll find out which one very shortly. And although he is not with us, our third winner, also sharing second place, is Matthew Colbert. He graduated from McLean School and hails from Germantown, Maryland. And Matthew indicated that he plans to attend Shenandoah in the fall. And for any of your parents that may be sitting off to the sides, we welcome them as well and wish them a congratulations on raising the 2 very bright students we have with us today. So with that, I'd like to pass the baton back to Candace, who will introduce our sponsors.
So this scholarship would not be possible if we didn't have sponsors contributing and donating to this cause. So I would like to thank our silver sponsors and our bronze sponsors as well, and ask, as I introduce them, ask each of them to give 10 to 15 seconds about themselves and actually state why they chose to sponsor the scholarship contest. So the first one is Chris Goodman with Duty Calls.
Hi, I'm the sales manager for Duty Calls. We're a pet waste removal company in the nationwide, and we believe the reason why we sponsored is we believe education is paramount especially for our industry, to get across to residents about the dangers, or not dangers, but the issues with pet waste that can cause pollution and things like that. So we've been involved with education for many, many years with CAI.
Thank you, Chris. And next, Elizabeth Kirk with TRC Engineering.
Thank you, Candace. Congratulations to our winners. And I am Elizabeth Kirk. I am a CAI educated business partner, and I'm with TRC Engineering. We are one of the sponsors for today's program, and we specialize in mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and ventilation systems analysis, troubleshooting, maintenance planning, design, and retrofitting. As you can imagine, being an engineer takes a lot of education. Well, we are very active in the chapter as far as the education program goes with CAI, because we feel it's very important that our managers understand and their facility engineers understand the proper way these systems work. And we sponsor the scholarship program because scholarships are a way to make a difference and give back to our community. This program, when you sponsor a scholarship program, you're sponsoring the future, because you young people will be going off into the future. And with that, that is why we sponsor this scholarship program, is to sponsor the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. And next, I'd like to turn it over to Kim Miles with Wintrust Community Advantage. You're on mute.
Geez, I do it every time. So take this lesson, learn to turn the mute off. I'm with Wintrust Community Advantage, and that's a mouthful, but we're a bank. And so we are at our heart community bankers, which means that we contribute a lot to communities. And during the pandemic, financial options were imperative, but additionally, getting to your education was even harder, getting that education during this last year. So it's ironic. We're really glad that we did contribute to the scholarship fund this year because of that. And the one thing that we would like for you to take from it is that we hope that you feel a sense of pride in what you did, in sharing your ideas and having ambition and being generous with that ambition. Because as all of the other people have already said, it's important to give back. And so we hope that as you pursue your dreams, you continue to pay it forward, because it is part of how, as you get smarter and educated, you'll have ideas that you can share generously and help make this world a better place. So congratulations.
Thank you, Kim. Chris and Elizabeth, our silver sponsors. And now I'd like to turn it over to our bronze sponsor, Gabrielle Torres with Exterior Medics. If you can introduce yourself and let us know why you chose to sponsor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gabby with Exterior Medics, and every year we're so honored to have the opportunity to be a part of this amazing scholarship program. Our main goal as a company is to provide lifetime building solutions so that people can focus on what's important to them. So we hope that with our financial contribution, Kevin, Anna, and Matthew can focus on what's most important to them in this phase of their lives, which is being superstar students. We know that because you're here. So we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and we cannot wait to see how you'll change the world.
Thank you, Gabby. And Lauren and I, our company, represent companies as bronze sponsors as well, Cardinal Management Group. And Lauren, did you want to unmute yourself?
Oh, hello. And I represent Chapter Washington.
And we both, had a passion to come together and lead as co-chairs, but also to sponsor as well. So we're doing kind of double duty here. But Lauren and I thank all the silver and bronze sponsors. And with that, Lauren, did you want to take it over and start with presenting of the award?
So now we're getting to fun stuff. So as Jamie mentioned at the beginning, Your scholarship check, or your scholarship contest checks are going to go out in the mail to you tomorrow. We're sad we aren't able to hand them to you in person, but we will have them soon. And without further ado, as our first place winner, Kevin, we are so excited to award you a scholarship of $2,015 that we hope will assist you when you go off to college this fall. And
Thank
Anna,
you.
Anna, as one of our second place winners, we are excited to award you a scholarship of $500 that we hope will assist you with your studies this fall as well.
Thank you.
And Matthew couldn't be here at the moment, but we also would like to award him with a $500 scholarship as well. All really great essays, and it really got us all thinking outside of the box. So we appreciate your useful insight, and we're all going to take this to the bank and start thinking of new ways to engage the community. At this time, we always like to try to give our silver sponsors an opportunity to ask the winners a question. So Kevin, Anna, be prepared. Each of the silver sponsors is going to ask you one question, and then we'll wrap up soon. So first, we have Chris. Do you want to kick it off with question number one?
Absolutely. So my question is, how will this scholarship help you? We'll go with Kevin first.
Sure. Yeah. So college is very expensive, and having this scholarship will be a big help to me and my family as we make the financial commitment of having me go off to college.
Yeah, along the same lines as Kevin, higher education is extremely expensive right now, and it's been that way for quite some time. And it is a big financial commitment, and I will be working throughout college to help my family pay for my education because I believe that I also have some responsibility in that. So this scholarship will help me contribute to my family's financial contribution as well, and I'm just very grateful for it.
Awesome, thank you. And Anna, have you decided Ithaca or Albany yet?
Yeah, so I'm going to be studying environmental science and sustainability at Allegheny College.
Hey.
Yeah.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I'd like to let Elizabeth Kirk with TRC. Are you ready for your question?
Absolutely, I am. And Anna, if you haven't reached out to the Alice Ferguson Foundation yet, you might want to do that. They have a school and education campus on their property. It's just on the other side of the river. So my question for both of you is, do you have any advice for ways that community associations can engage young people?
Kevin?
Sorry, I was unmuting. Yeah, so my experience has been that community associations have done a lot of getting people, in my local community association has done a lot of civic engagement in terms of working to get members active on local politics and government issues. But I think many younger people are perhaps less interested in like the county board candidates. And I think a way to get young people involved would be hosting more social events and using those social events to talk also about the civic engagement and the political and the community association side of the organizations.
Thank you. Anna?
Yeah, overall, I would just strongly encourage the use of social media because that is the way most kids interact with each other and communicate with each other when they're not in person. So I would encourage, using Instagram and Facebook and social media platforms like that that will be able to reach the kids when they're not necessarily face to face with you. And like Kevin said, I would use the social media to form social gatherings. I think it would be really good if you encourage the kids meeting each other in their community because not that many kids have as many neighborhood friends as I hear my parents describe as they did when they were younger. So I would really encourage that. And I think making friends within the community and encouraging friendships is a great way to keep people interacting with what is going on in their environment.
Awesome, thank you. And Kim Miles from Wintrust Community Advantage, are you ready for your question?
Yeah, I'm unmuted. So, okay. So before you wrote your essay, how did you prepare for it and for the topic? And how much time did you invest in that preparation in composing your essay?
Kevin?
So I'm not the type of person usually who will like see an essay prompt and sit down and have a piece of paper and brainstorm. What I tend to prefer to do is see the essay prompt and then have it in like the back of my mind for a couple of days and think, okay, what are the ideas that come to me as I go about just a normal day? And then I sat down after a couple of days of thinking about the prompt, and I probably took 6 to 8 hours for drafting and revisions and a bit of fact checking to get to the finished product.
Impressive.
Awesome, thank you. Anna?
Yeah, so similar process for me. I also appreciate keeping the prompt in the back of my mind and just kind of, mulling it over for a couple days, or however long it takes me. So I saw the prompt, and then a couple days after, I was still thinking about it. I was like, I have a couple ideas, but none of them are really exactly like what I think would be best. And I was having a conversation with a neighbor, and they were describing how they wished they could, retile the front walkway, and they just didn't know how to do it, didn't know where to get the supplies or how to do anything. And I was like, I bet there's someone in the neighborhood who knows how to do that. And that's kind of where the spark came from. So if you haven't read my essay, it's about neighbors basically teaching each other these life skills that could just be useful. And it's basically just collective knowledge in the neighborhood. So my idea was sparked from that conversation with my neighbor. And then I probably spent another couple days thinking it over in my head. And I sat down and it came out of my brain pretty easily onto the piece of paper. So that was my original draft. And then, I revised it a couple times. Overall, it probably was also around 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours, sat in front of the computer. But that's not counting all the brainstorming time that, was happening over the weeks while I was mulling over the prompt.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And all great answers. Thank you once again to the silver sponsors for those questions and our winners for answering them. I also want to thank everyone who made Scholarship Committee possible this year. We had a rocky road getting here, and as I'm sure Kevin and Anna, you did as well throughout your school year. This was not a typical school year, so we really appreciate your input, your involvement, taking time in this crazy pandemic season to actually participate in our process and our scholarship program by submitting an essay. So thank you again to you both. Thank you to our silver and bronze sponsors, my fellow co-chair, and the rest of the scholarship subcommittee for CAI. I'd like to ask each of you to continue promoting this program, especially Kevin and Anna. If you know anyone that's going to be graduating next year, please promote and let them know that we do this every year. And we have always looked for people who can spend time, put in a good quality essay together. So thank you. Lauren, do you have anything to add before we wrap up?
I just want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to both of you again. We appreciate that you took the time to write such thoughtful essays, and you definitely gave everyone in this group some food for thought, including Mr. Farrell, who may end up writing further on the subject and the value that young people bring to the industry that we work in. So I appreciate the contributions both of you have made. And if we haven't already said it, your essays will be published online. So they will be going online shortly, and they'll also be included in an upcoming issue of Quorum, which is the Community Association Institute, our local chapters magazine. So we'll coordinate with Liz and make sure that once those are posted, that we share that with both of you. And if you're like me, you'll print it out and frame it. But like I said, we're so happy to celebrate both of you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity.
Thank you so much, both to the Community Associations Institute and to all the sponsors.
Awesome. Thank you. Everyone give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. And everyone have a great afternoon.